Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Loan Officer Breakfast Club. We have Jimn Kyles in the house today. That's going to be cool. You know what we did is we let Kevin Gillespie slip into the green room, too, because why not? Why not? It's Kevin Gillespie. He's actually going to be giving away money tomorrow here on the show. That's what I'm told. I don't know how or in what capacity, but he's giving away money tomorrow on Loan Officer Breakfast Club, so you're going to want to be here for that. We hope you guys are having a fantastic morning. Man, just about the end of May, heading into June. End of the month. I wonder, does anybody get the end of the month woes? Is everybody counting deals through the system or anything like that? Anybody?
Oh, well, wait a minute. It's Wednesday.
What? Oh, it is Wednesday. Flux capacitor. Bring it up, Kristen.
Getting it. I'm getting it. We're gonna have number issues again, aren't we?
We are gonna have number issues again. All right, so I'm gonna do it myself. I don't care if we're gonna take a little bit of time here. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna get this done. All right. Hi, I want to know what percentage of the year is left in 2025 if we're going on a weekly basis with 52 weeks in the year, then figure out what week we're in right now. So that would determine what percentage of the year is left. What's your number for that?
All right, let's figure it out. Today is May 28th, 2025. A standard year has 52 weeks, and we can roughly say each week is about 7 days. Since we're at the end of May, we're around week 22 of the year, since there are about 4.3 weeks in a month, and we've completed almost 5 full months. That means there are about 30 weeks left in the year, 52 minus 22. To find the percentage, we take the number of weeks left, 30, and divide by the total weeks, 52, then multiply by 100. That gives us about 57.7%. So roughly 58% of the year is left.
There you have it. And Vicky Lasher got it right as well. 57.7% of the year is left. That's the total capacitance. That is a real word, Kristen. That's the total capacitance that we have left in the year to meet our goals. So like we did last Wednesday, put in the chat, are you ahead? Are you at par? Or are you behind on your stated goals that we did at the beginning of the year? Just curious. No judgment here. Just curious. Are you ahead? Are you at par? Or are you behind? I'm just curious. Yeah, see, we got, all right, cool. People chiming in. Good, man. Good for being honest. Great stuff. A lot of people ahead. Check that out, Krista. A lot of people ahead.
I was going to say, I'm doing really good too. I'm not scared. I'm doing good on my goals. So
really,
and there's still time. There is still time. 57%.
57%. But you know what, man? We got that number 5 in the front now. So it's just, to me, it's just like, man, that happened fast, right? I mean, it just seemed like just the other day we had 100%. We were like, okay, 100%, let's go. Flux capacitor, let's capacitance of the year. Now we're at 57. It's just happening so quick.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
And the thing that people have to remember is no decision is a decision.
Words.
The time wisdom. Is now.
Even more gold. Just Krista, what's happening? This is pretty epic.
It's the coffee.
What?
I mean,
it's the coffee. Yeah, you're not a Philly girl, right? You're a Florida girl.
I'm a Florida girl. Midwest girl, though, born and raised. So me and Kristen were head to head Super Bowl. Yeah. You beat me. There's next year. No.
It's a Philly thing.
Yeah, it's a Philly thing. All right. Yeah, Krista on fire. Well, look, man, for those who are ahead, awesome. Congratulations. Keep going. For those who are at par, great stuff. Still doing well. If you're behind, no worries. No worries, man. There's time to catch up. We can just put our head down, focus on our activities, and we can catch up. It's not a problem. So good news for everybody. And it is 57%. It's almost 60. You know what I mean? It's almost 60, so there is still a little time left. And you know what would be good to put in the chat, too, because Jimn Kyles may be addressing this for you today. If you're feeling like you're behind, why? What's holding you back? I'd like to know that in the chat. Like, what do you think is the thing that's like, man, this is the thing that's I'm struggling with? What's the struggle? If you're behind on your goals, what's the struggle? What is it? And let's see what people put in there. While we're doing that, Kevin Gillespie, since you're here, right, I would like to at least grab 1 or 2 wins before we bring Jim on fully so we can get some people into the space here. So I would like you to look around the room, Kevin. Just look around the room. and then pick somebody to share a win. And if you've got a win, you just can't stand it, you got to share, please raise your hand. We'd love to hear you win. But Kevin, go for it. Pick
Well,
somebody.
I got to go to my friend Marty Guy Fink to give us a win because she's always got good stuff happening.
She really does. Yeah, she really does. Marty Guy Fink, you officially have the, what do they call that? The talking stick? Remember when you sit around?
I don't know. I knew he was going to pick me because I was just talking about him. I knew it. I have a lot of wins. I'm on vacation still. Today's the last day. We're driving home from beautiful South Carolina right now, but we went to New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Texas, and spent a lot of time with family and a lot of time with each other. So it was really, really good. We took in 2 contracts. We had about 3 pre-approvals, and I had somebody in-house to actually help me do all that while I was gone. So it made my life so much easier. Last year, I would have probably been, my sister-in-law even said last year when I went to visit her, this time I seemed 1,000 times less stressed than I was last year. Last year, I was just like chaotic. And at one time, I even think I got in tears last year when I was there visiting them in the summertime or early spring. So I just really, really feel like I've had like a big, huge shift in my business over the past year, and has a lot to do with my company where I work and definitely you guys. So it's like a 50-50 thing there. I've learned so much in the past year, and I would say I'm going to say about 15 months. So just a change. You guys have changed my life.
Give us one thing. We'll move on. We'll get to you, Ronald, just one sec. Give us one thing, a little word of advice for someone who is in tears.
Get on a schedule. Take Steve's class, the one that talks about time blocking, and make a real living calendar that has everything on there, everything that you do. And even if you don't execute it perfectly, and just the discipline to even just look at it, get that part of it done, and then just go from there. And it literally, you start to fall in place when you do that, and then you have your goals too, and then get on the phone and start calling. Do the DSP. That was 3 things.
I love it. Wonderful. Thank you. Hey, drive safe, Marty. Thanks for everything. You're always driving. An inspiration. Oh, well, whoever's driving, drive safe. Yeah.
It's my husband.
All right. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. As always. Thank you. And Kristen, where's that class on time blocking she was talking about if somebody wants to get some help with that? How do we find that?
It's on the member site, and I believe it's in the Start Here section. Jen, am I correct?
That's right.
Yep, it's in the Start Here section. Yeah, Steve really lays it out, and it's a great class.
Great. So if people want to, if they're an animal already, that's where they go. If they're not an animal, best way to learn more, dailysuccessplan.com.
Daily Success Plan. Yep. We'll talk through it. We'll show you what it looks like. It's literally Steve lays out how to time block the perfect day.
Okay. dailysuccessplan.com. Go there if you're not a member. If you are a member, go find it in the site and you'll get the help you need. Ronald, real quick, and then we'll get to Mr. Jimn Kyles. What you got?
So February 4th, I started with Loan Officer CRM and started going real hard on meeting the qualified agents. And I've had several little things boiling and coming and almost getting there. But yesterday, I actually got the first referral that took an app, had a conversation, and we're going to get them pre-approved this afternoon.
So that's a good feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So this was, and let's elaborate on this. Let me make sure I'm picking up what you're putting down. Okay, just want to make sure. All right. So what you're putting down is you got the CRM, you got a list, you started the marketing process, let the CRM do its job. You're following up with phone calls. This is an agent that you were not doing business with. Am I right?
Right. That's right. Exactly.
Okay. So this is a qualified.
So I had a couple of old agents that have kept me alive, but this was a new person that I did not know that was on my Focus 40 that sent a lead and is pre-approved now.
There you go. So you did it and it worked.
Yep,
it worked.
Definitely.
So you're saying there's a chance. That's what you're saying. It works. And so for those who felt like, hey, maybe I'm a little behind, right? 2 things here. Number 1, animals, right? Get into animals, get going there, take the classes, understand, what's going on with your scheduling. check out the loan officer CRM as well, like Ron just did. Right? There's a process. There's a method to all of this. Son of a gun, it works. Deal in contract or deal pre-approved. Is that what it was?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Deal pre-approved from an agent that you hadn't been in contact with before, an agent that brand new to you, agent but a qualified agent to be.
Yes, that's right.
So good stuff, man. If you're getting value from this already, go ahead and tap that like button. It helps more loan officers find content that actually makes a difference. And hey, if staying ahead of the market and learning what's really working in our industry matters to you, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss another episode. We read every comment, so drop your thoughts down below. We'd love to hear from you and know what's working or what you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you here next time. Awesome. Well, I think it's about time. What do you guys think?
Wait, before we do that, there's one really great win in the chat. Jim Driscoll says 10 accepted offers this week.
Nice.
Jim, unmute. We got to talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
Where you at, Driscoll?
Yeah, big week.
10.
Yeah, we had last week I had 14 offers out there. Only 3 got accepted. And then this week we had another 14 offers out there and 10 got accepted.
Holy shamoly.
Yeah, so it's just a little bit of a change for us in our market. I don't know. But yeah, I can't believe it.
Is the team well equipped and prepared to tackle this?
Yeah, our team is top notch. So
What's the main thing that moved the needle, Jim?
Just being consistent.
Yeah.
Just constant consistency, just making our calls, doing our follow-up, and that's it.
Good old, where I come from, we call that good old elbow grease.
Yeah.
Good for you, brother.
Thanks, man.
And working the plan, Jim's a guy that works the plan. So
there's
great stuff.
There's no magic beans.
No magic beans, baby. It only works all the time.
Grease. Good for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what they say, James? Every 40 grand helps.
It does.
Yeah.
I found that to be true. Haven't you found that to be true, Carl?
I've yet to throw away 40 grand.
Right. So I've had enough of that. No, thank you. All right, Mr. Jimn Kyles is in the house. Let's bring him up. It's good to have you here. Jim, we were talking yesterday, and I talked to a lot of originators, right? And so does Carl and the rest of the team here. And I just felt like, maybe you could go over something, that would help us with getting through the chaos a little bit, that kind of a thing. And so you came up with a couple of points here that I think are going to be really good. Why don't you tell us what you want to chat about today, and then let's get into it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first, let me just say how much of a privilege it is to be here. Thanks, Carl. Thanks, Frank. I just love this community. I love even what you just said, Carl, that really it's about the hard work and the elbow grease. That's one of the things that I love about each person that's on this call. So not afraid to work hard, but they're willing to do what it takes to not only be successful professionally, but one of the things that I love about this community, you guys are willing to work hard personally. And Frank, yesterday, you and I were talking about weathering storms. I think the person who came yesterday was speaking about that. And we know, I was in the mortgage business, it feels like a lifetime ago. Steve and Stephanie, when I first moved to Houston, I was a bivocational pastor. And I don't know if there's any such thing, it was part-time, but there's no part-time pastoring. But I worked for Steve full-time. And Frank, back then, you were my hero. I would watch you way back then. And so I understand some of the storms.
As opposed to now, he's not. I get
now,
whatever.
He is a hero and a friend. And if you've ever met someone, when you get to know them, there's two feelings. Either you like them more, or you're like, ooh, wow, I didn't realize you were that person.
Yeah.
And Frank, I just love your heart, because it's not just it's really about helping people. So well, we talked yesterday, and you said that some of the storms, things like rising rates, did you get the deal or dried up pipelines, personal pressure, leadership transitions? One of the things I love about Marty, what she said was there were two things: the work environment, which is your culture, that you're around people, and then you guys, this community of loan officers and the Breakfast Club. And I just thought, man, that is so powerful, because it's not if you're going to go into a storm or through a storm. You're all going to go through a storm. We all do. But there's three things. Just, I thought real quick, and I put a worksheet that you guys can download. I know they'll put it in the chat. But number one, you got to recognize the storm. What kind of storm is it that you're going through right now? And there's two worksheets that I put in there, because it's really important that we're not just naming the fact that we have a storm, but the wheel of life is a great way to identify what kind of a storm. It could be a professional storm. It could be a family storm, a health storm, a finance storm. It could be a spiritual storm. It could be a relational storm, a social storm. But once you identify the storm and recognize it, what we realize is then we can build the plan to get through it. And so I think that's huge, identifying the storm.
Yeah. So, yeah, we were talking about, you said, well, what are they really going through? And I said, it's kind of different at what level that you're at in this business, if we're going to relate everything to the business aspect, right? So if we're newer and we're not closing, one or two deals a month, that's our challenge. That's the thing that we're battling with, and trying to, build a relationship with agents and get that relationship to a point where I get a referral and then it gets pre-approved and it gets into contract. There's that. Then there's also, we've got, Jim, lots of people in the industry right now that have a lot of pre-approvals and they're just not converting it enough, right? They're not converting to contracts. And so that can be kind of a storm of sorts, right? And then of course we've got people too who are, take a look at Jim. I know he's going to do just fine. He got 10 contracts in. Okay, well, there's a potential storm there too, right? Because now I got to be able to smoothly get these 10 contracts through while not dropping the ball on my prospecting, right? So there's that type of stuff. So there's all different types of things that we can go to on the originator aspect of being an originator, right? And so that's what I wanted to talk about, because I think everybody kind of faces it. But at the end of the day, it's it's a storm. No matter what it is, it's just a storm. And any storm isn't any different than any other, right?
Well, they are different, because some storms feel like you're about to die. Some just feel more intense. If you can't put food on your table, that's a little different than a frustrated, friend. But I thought about, you're exactly right. So how do you weather a storm like that? There's really four things that you could identify, in which, as I was just thinking about this community, the first one is your why. If I'm going to weather a storm, I need to stay anchored to my why. Why did I get into the business? Why am I doing what I'm doing? That is such a huge anchor in your life, because it'll help you stay when otherwise you would want to leave. The second thing is your values. If you're anchoring to a storm, you need to know who you're becoming in this storm. That my value is in my becoming, not my doing. We talked a little bit about that last time I was here. Third thing is your rhythms. I love what Carl said. Man, you just put in the elbow grease, you put in the hard work. Sometimes, and almost all the time, you just stay consistent. It is what you do day in and day out that matters most. You're never going to be a champion by what you do occasionally great. It's what you do consistently. The things that it'd be better to be just consistent than occasionally great. And so what's your rhythm? Are you getting up every day? Are you doing your calls every day? Are you prospecting every day? Are you doing the things that you need to do? But then the fourth part is your community. Man, the community matters. This is what I love about this community. A lot of places don't have something like this, where you can jump on a call. We're going to encourage you. We're going to coach you. We're going to help you. And the truth is, the people you hang out with determine the future that you have. And so what's your why? What's your values? What's your rhythm? And then what are your relationships? Who are you hanging out with? It's going to help you stay anchored.
Good stuff, man. Well, let's keep going on that. Let's talk about it a little more. How would you give me an example maybe of the guy who's, like you said, struggling to put the dinner on the table, right? How would you approach that? Or
so I would say that's a financial storm.
Yeah.
That's a financial storm. So what's my why? Why did I get in this business? Because here's what I know. The storm, what we want to do is, we've already framed what the storm is. So I say it like this: reframe the rain. not all storms are setbacks. Sometimes they're a setup to develop the character, the discipline, whatever it is that you need. Sometimes it takes that pain for you to really get locked in. And so I think at the end of the day, you're reframing it, man. Okay, here's what's happening. I'm struggling to pay my bills. Why did I get in here? Because I want to be financially free. I believe that I have a product that can deliver freedom to homeowners as well as freedom to me financially. This isn't a setback. This is actually a time where I can dig in and get better at my scripts, get better at my prospecting, get better at having conversations that are difficult in a industry that needs solutions. I'm a solutions provider. So see how you begin to reframe it. But if you're not reframing the storm and the rain that's coming against you, what you'll do is you'll allow it to define you and label you. And I don't want a storm to define or label me. I want who I am to define or label me. And remember this, storms can really be a huge benefit. They can reveal weak systems. They can help remove distractions like, hey, I've been distracted or I've got bad systems and processes. And then they can also build endurance. It's that we have a saying here at my house and even at the church is, I cannot quit. I will not quit. Quitting is not an option. And so it's just this grit and this resolve of I'm showing up every day. And it's the flywheel principle, right? If you show up every day, and Carl, you're an expert at this, you just show up every day and you just do a little bit every single day. We always overestimate what we can do in a short time, but we underestimate what we can do over a lifetime of just consistently showing up, just consistently doing the disciplines. And even Jim talked about probably some of what he saw was the flywheel. Last month, he did what he did. And I think he said he saw 3, contracts or signed deals. And then this month, he did the same thing and he saw 10. And so it's the flywheel principle. Whether you see a little or a lot, I'm going to stay disciplined, even when it's tough.
I tell you what, I'll just say real quick, Carl, and then chime in. But man, that phrase, the storm can be a real benefit. That is huge. And I hope everybody let that sink in. If whatever it is right now, there's a benefit to it. It's an exposing thing, right? It's a shining thing to let you know something needs to be adjusted, right? There has to be an adjustment, whether that's between your ears or with processes or whatever the case may be, but the storm is actually a benefit. I love that, man. I'm a brother too. I'm going through the word, and we just went through this, exact item. And it's so true though, storms, there's actually benefit to them because they're exposing something and they're showing us something, and we can gain from the storm, no matter what that storm is. Go ahead, Carl. Sorry to interrupt you.
It's funny you say that because, with the storm comes intense wind, and with wind, we got our sails up. We can do some major movement there. And Jim, I've always thought, maybe it's just me, but hell, most of my storms, I'm the one that caused it. It's like a self-inflicted hurricane, and it's either my lack of action, doing the wrong actions. Because like we can say, like even in 08 when things really got nasty down here in Florida in the market. And in some places, here recently, things have been kind of tough, but that doesn't mean that we stop doing what we do. Because, I could say it's the fault of the storm, except you got people, who was it earlier, got 10 contracts this week. Right. And we always pick on our friend Sarah Cox. I think she's closing 21 this month. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Seeing that, I can no longer point to the storm as being the issue, that it must be my actions. And I don't know. I think a lot of storm. If we have if we have a health related storm, totally different, right? I get that, and I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about like in our business. If I find myself in a processor issue or a job issue or a volume issue, my actions are the ones that dictate that. And sometimes I think that's what you're saying about. When the storm, it's a wake up call. Like, hey, I better start rowing the boat here.
Yes. Well, I would 100% agree with you. Probably 90% of the storms are self-imposed. We say it like this: your life is perfectly designed to deliver the results you're receiving. So whatever results you're receiving, you've designed your own life and you're not a victim. And so you get the ability to, if you don't like something, change something. I love, again, I just go back to what Marty said. She's in a great environment. She changed environments. She had the ability to move to a different cultured surrounding or environment of people that were working in the same industry as her. We just have to realize, and like you said, man, if these storms are revealing areas where I can grow, then just figure out, okay, name the storm. How do I stay anchored? So my why, values, rhythms, and my relationships, and then reframing it. Okay, this is an opportunity. Though it may look like it's a setback. Remember this: when you get into, I love the slingshot principle, right? If you're going to shoot a slingshot, you're always going to pull it back, and so the setback might look like you're going backwards. But if you can recognize it for what it is, it's another opportunity. It's an opportunity. So it'll position you to be launched out into a place that will catapult you into your future. And that's why it's so important. Let's don't stick our head in the sand. When we're going through a storm, identify it. We're like, it is what it is. And they're hard, they're painful, and they're tough. And most of it is the mirror effect, right? Because all you have is yourself to blame. In most regards, it's what you have or haven't done. It's what you've allowed. So often we experience things, and even in relationships, because maybe you didn't confront things that started off early on, and so again, I love that. Yes, take ownership of our life and then use it as a launching pad, not a place where we go and run and hide in the woods and become victims.
I think too, mindset is a big part of this and how we look at it. Are you being buried or in the storm? Or are you being planted for a new season? And that's so powerful because it's all on how we look at things. So yes, bad things happen. We already know that's going to happen just in life overall, right? But it's really your mindset on how you look at it. I really do. I think that plays a huge part in our activities and what we do. Like picking up the phone, I can get in and say, I hate picking up the phone. All I do is hear is no, and people are aggressive or whatever that may
Yeah.
be. Or I can say, you know what? I'm going to go in and I'm going to make my calls today, and I know it's going to produce an end result that I'm looking for. And even if I make one connection, that's the game changer. So it's the power of one, it's mindset. So just stay focused.
And when we went through COVID, I think we can all agree that was a pretty impressive storm. That was the birth of the Breakfast Club. So when we decided to do the Breakfast Club, it's because, hey, none of us could hang out, for a period of time, and we couldn't go to the association meetings, and we our hands were tied, and so we said, all right, well, crap, how do we get around this? Let's start doing a daily Zoom, and that was the birth of the Breakfast Club. The birth of the Mortgage Marketing Animals, where we really decided to dive into it, was during the crash of '08. Had we not gone through that storm, and that was an impressive storm, and we saw, myself and Diane saw, thought, we could help other people weather the storm along with us, and frankly, to help give ourselves some encouragement to work through it. That was the birth of the Mortgage Marketing Animals, was the crash. And so it's funny how the storms, if you put your sails up and catch the wind.
Yeah.
So great. Yeah, well,
This is really good.
it causes innovation. If you have the right mindset, I love what Krista said. The mindset really begins to see it as an opportunity for what the future could hold. That's really what problems are. They're just opportunities in disguise. And it goes back to even the phone calls, as you were saying. If you think, man, I'm not going to make this deal, I'm not going to make the deal, you're going to find a way in the conversation to sabotage what you're trying to do. But if you say, I got this, I was made for this, I'm going to make this deal, I bring solutions in a challenging, environment. It doesn't matter if it's a hard, conversation, easy, but as you begin to have that self-dialogue and self-talk, you will fulfill what it is that you believe, what you think, and then what you say about yourself. And so it's all so important in an industry where others are running. You guys, and this is what I love about the Breakfast Club, every one of you are running into the storm. You're not afraid of it. And so then it's the camaraderie, it's the brotherhood, it's the sisterhood. It's like, hey, we got this, because you're going to have a day where you feel like you don't have it. But if you just stay connected to a place that helps remind you, you've got what it takes. And many of you are believers. So I believe a lot of you and most of you believe God brought you into this industry. And what an opportunity to come into an industry where others would say it's impossible, it's hard, it's challenging, where you can be the salt and the light, where you deliver a product that meets a physical need, but also you can speak into their soul and speak life. So, so proud of everybody.
Hey, let's get to a couple of hands we got up. Eden, go.
I was just going to say, I'm learning the concept that sometimes you have to slow down to speed up. I've been licensed for a couple years, but I took a operations funding and disclosures job back in October. And it's just been realizing that you can't do it all. Like a jack of all trades is a master of none. And so Friday is my last day and I'm going full loan officer again. So
nice. Excellent. Congrats. Good stuff. You're going to kick butt, Eden. Thank you. Hey, Sharon, go for it. And you're muted, just so you know. Don't crash. She's driving. She's skilled. She's got good skills.
I just wanted to share a couple of things about the storm. The way I look at it is, you can be a cow or you can be a buffalo. So the cow runs away from the storm, and the further you run away from the storm is going to catch up. Or you could be the buffalo and you can run into the storm and you can face the storm, and you're going to go through the storm and you're going to make it through. But one of the other things is that I look at every day is just I'm not trying to get too philosophical here, but every day is just some kind of adventure. There's something every day that's going to make you a better person. It's going to be a storm. It's going to be a challenge. But if you just look at these storms as challenges and opportunities, they're going to help you weather the next storm. And you can apply that to life, or you can apply that to mortgages. But if you have a storm in your mortgages and your loans, and you're trying to figure out how to get through something, what you learn from that loan is going to make you better at the next loan, or better able to help the next customer. So there's a lot of opportunities in storms, and I'd rather run into it than run away from it.
There you go. Yeah, I learned that. I think, Jim, you told me that yesterday. Buffaloes actually run into a storm rather than run away from it. They sense a storm coming, they run into it. So there you go.
Hey, Jim, I think a great principle on that is to embrace the storm. When you embrace it, I think it goes back to the mentality. We run from it because we don't think we have what it takes. And so embracing it says, I got what it takes. And I was made for this, and I'm going to weather this, and I'm going to come out better. So, Carl, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so just to take us out here. So I'm weathering it. I'm in a storm right now, and frankly, I'm feeling a little beat up. I've had a couple flying 2x4s hit me aside of the head. I might be bleeding a little bit. I'm really feeling beat up here. Give me the first action item. Like, what do I do first or second? Like, just give me a couple 1-2s of here's how you get out of it.
Yeah, well, I think it goes back to the first thing. You got to figure out what kind of storm it is. You deal with a family storm different than you would a career, storm. So I think number one, you recognize the storm. What kind of storm am I going through? So that then I can identify an effective plan of action to help get me through it. And I think it goes back to the second part. So once I recognize the storm, I'm staying anchored. What's my why? Think about a relational storm. Why am I in this relationship? What are my values that guard or hold this relationship together? What's my rhythm? And so let's just say marriage. Why am I still married? What are the values that hold me into this marriage? What's the rhythm? Am I dating my spouse? What's the rhythm of health? Do we need counseling? And then the relationships. Do we hang out with other couples that are building into pouring into us? So, you're staying anchored to those 4 anchors: the why, the values, the rhythms, the relationships. And you can use that throughout the entire wheel of life. And then it's the reframe, right? It goes back to what Krista was saying. I got to change my thoughts. And then I got to make sure that I'm reframing what I'm walking through, that I was made for this. I've got what it takes. This is revealing. It's not going to destroy. It's clearing out distractions. It's not going to cause me to lose what matters most. I'm building endurance. I'm not weak and a victim. And so let me just say them again: recognizing what kind of storm we're going through, staying anchored through those 4 things: the why, the values, the rhythms, the relationships. And then I'm reframing the storm and the rain, what's coming against me.
Good stuff, man. Awesome stuff. Thank you, Jim. As always,
yeah, you're welcome.
Always appreciate you coming here. The chat's blown up.
You know what burns my butt, Frank, is you got a guy that's handsome and smart, and it's just like, what the hell?
Where did we get the short end of the stick, Carl?
Heck?
You know, why did we get the short end?
I can take one, right? Handsome, okay, got it. Smart,
Right.
fine. But both, you know, just
what the heck?
that kind of thing just burns
I'm
my
with you,
butt.
brother.
Yeah.
Hey, is Kevin Gillespie still here? Is he still around? Kevin, you still with us? Did he leave?
Yeah,
He must have,
I think he had a 9 o'clock.
He had a 9. Okay. Well, he's going to be here tomorrow. It's going to be some good stuff. Keep your eye on the email. I'll tell you all what's going on. But yeah, with that, I think we're pretty much good to go. We got the downloads in. Anybody need the downloads again before we go? Say if you need the downloads again from Jimn Kyles. Do you need them? Yes, no, yes, no. I'll give you like 5 seconds. Yes, they need them again. One more time, Jen, if you'd be so kind to put the downloads into the chat. So just to be safe. And then with that, we'll go ahead and get on out of here. Today is Wednesday. There's the downloads, guys. You got them. Tom, they just got put in. Today's Wednesday. So today's our past client sphere of influence day. Make sure we make those calls. Probably the easiest money you could possibly make right now.
No doubt.
Start calling those people. Probably the fastest route to a pay. Wouldn't you agree, Carl?
100%. Anytime I'm talking to somebody and say, hey, I need 3 loans, or, you know, I got trouble with my house payment, call your database.
Yeah.
Don't. And I'm not saying, I was going to say, don't email them, don't text them. It's okay to do that too.
Yeah.
But those are amplifiers where the real money made is simply on the phone call.
Yeah.
So.
And if you haven't done it in a while, I tell you what, man, the old, hey, I can ask you a favor call is always great. I had Brenda doing that and Katie, they were chasing down some real estate deals. I said, just call everybody, you know, what am I going to say? I said, well, just say this. Hey, good. Hey, how's it going? Good. I said, just say, hey, can I ask you a favor? They're going to go, sure. You go, hey, man, don't forget I'm doing real estate. If you come across anybody that needs any help, can I count on you, send them my way? I mean, everybody's going to go, sure. You know that? Wow. Yeah, absolutely. Very, very simple call. Ask you a favor. If you've got a sphere of influence, right? Even if you don't have a large database, you got a sphere of influence in your phone right now. You just make that phone call. Let them know what you're doing. Ask them a favor, right? That's all you're doing is asking them a favor. It's very, very simple.
Only always works.
It only always works. That's going to be the fastest way to get a paycheck going right now. If you need one right now, that's what it's going to be.
And get on CallStars. Get on CallStars today. Call your past clients. If you have questions about what to say, anything about making these calls, get the office to call. Megan and I will help you through it. So
wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah, CallStars. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay, we'll be here again tomorrow. We're going to have Kevin Gillespie with us, and we're going to have a great day today. And you guys have a good one. Thank you, Jimn Kyles. Super appreciate it, man. Always a pleasure. You're the best, brother. Thanks for coming in, as always. You guys have a great day. We'll see you here tomorrow. Loan Officer Breakfast Club. Until then, adios. Bye-bye.
Have a wonderful day, everybody.